And to be honest with you, this is going to be a difficult break for me for a couple of reasons. First, I'm going to share something with you that is just a gut feeling and something that has really been bothering me and is starting to come together in my head.
So it starts in your stomach and it's moving up to your head, kind of like a weird form of nausea. That's funny. Somewhat akin to the feeling that I've gotten over the years since I started seeing you on TV. Except there's no gut feeling, really. It's more that my brain vomits inside my skull.
It all could be BS, quite honestly.
It all could be BS. What a relief. You know, now I can relax, unless, of course, you ratchet up the fear again. But, you know, maybe this is actually intellectual cowardice. You're not, you know, covering your ass for when your bullshit theory turns out to be wrong, are you?
But I'm so tired of the experts and everybody telling me, oh, no, that could never happen, only to find that it does happen.
Yeah, all those stupid experts preserving knowledge, keeping us safe, pushing science forward. Pfft, pfft. But of course Glenn leaves this amorphous and vague, because to nail down what these supposed experts have gotten wrong, he'd actually have to have some references. Facts.
I think everybody is looking at a box. They're looking at everything and saying, oh, yeah, well, I don't know, you're thinking over here. Yeah.
I'm calling bullshit on that. Who the fuck has ever told you, Glenn Beck, that you're thinking out of the box? Somebody with 11 wives, 3 of whom are cousins? Seriously. You are the definition of being in the box. Your job, your haircut, your opinions, your show on Fox News, foreigner fear-mongering, the subtle racism, sucking of the corporate dick. You, by definition, live in the box. You drive to and from work in the box. You exist in the box. You are the box. The box is with you wherever you fucking go.
Everybody needs to get out of that box, and I know somebody in this audience is thinking out of the box.
Sorry, Glenn. I can't make it. I'm out of foil. Besides, I already have a hat.
We are a country that is in real trouble. I've been talking about this perfect storm for a while, and I've been looking for that Archduke Ferdinand moment. That Archduke Ferdinand was the guy who was assassinated in some, I don't know, some country over in Europe that started World War I. And if I would have told you, you know, back then, hey, we're going to go to war over Archduke Ferdinand being assassinated, everybody would have said you're crazy.
Well, if you're comparing a world-changing, monumentous event such as that with trouble in Mexico because of drug cartels, and comparing them as if they are even close to being equally significant, then yes, maybe you are fucking crazy.
Yes, maybe I am. I think the final straw that could break our camel's back could be the collapse of Mexico. And I want to explain some of the factors on why I say that. And nobody is putting this together. Mexico is the 12th largest economy in the world. They are our 3rd largest oil supplier. They are the 2nd largest trade partner with us. Okay, that's pretty heavy if they start to collapse. Drug-related crime is causing general unrest there in Mexico.
Again, this last straw that breaks the camel's back, the consequences are left somewhat amorphous. Economic, social, what's going to happen, Glenn? Of course, leave that a little bit of a mystery. Just paint that a little here and there. But then, get into what's happening in Mexico. The unrest is general.
There were 438 reported kidnappings last year. Many are Americans. More likely unreported, and then there are beheadings. Particularly those beheadings of police officers. They are starting to stir things up. You add to these factors the three-sided civil war that would happen if they would collapse.
Where did Glenn get that tidbit? He just pulled it out of his ass.
Please consider this, as insane as it may be. Because only with information will we not panic. Only with information will we know what to do and prepare for.
Could it be then, Glenn, that prohibition's a lost cause? And that the war on drugs has more deleterious effects than the drugs themselves?
If Mexico collapses, does anybody think that there would be a rush of people trying to get out of a new narco state that would rush our border where there is no fence? So you have the border fence people versus the non-border fence people in a heated debate, kind of like what we have been, you know, where you're called a racist for just wanting a fence. But
and apparently more jobs were lost in the interim. I mean, look, this last month, 159,000 jobs were lost in the United States. The 9th straight month of job losses.
And then the everyday citizen has to pay for it. And that's when I am going to say, well, illegal. I am an illegal alien. And that's why I am headed for that wall.
That means you're going somewhere?
Yes, I'm going, which you didn't show on the map.
To Iran.
To Mexico. Keep that wall, make it low, because a lot of Jews are going to be going that way.
Drug-related crime is causing general unrest there in Mexico.
Notice how he never touches the issue of prohibition here once. He claims to be worried about Mexicans streaming over the border, about crime, about government spending, yet even before the economic crisis, whole states were already getting close to the verge of bankruptcy over their overburdened prison systems. California, for example, has certain prisons that are at 200% capacity. But no, prohibition never enters into this discussion. Just fear-mongering, drugs, brown people coming across the border, woo!
Now it's much, much worse. You'd also have the Hispanic versus the whites. There are Americans that are blamed for buying drugs down in Mexico. And you know what, Mexico? You're right. Part of this is our fault. We're buying drugs, and you're living in the godforsaken conditions that those drug lords are creating because we can't stop doing coke.
Yeah, fuck you, average guy. It's your fault. Yeah, it's your fault, average guy. Not the fault of a never-ending, unwinnable war on drugs that violates human dignity.
And we're not stopping the flow of guns into their country. That's what they're saying.
How about this? The majority of marijuana consumed in America is grown in America, and yet you have your drug czar, John Walters, constantly blaming BC for, quote, shipping poison to my country. This is how he talks about an incredibly benign, therapeutically viable substance. Meanwhile, you guys are shipping cocaine and guns up to us. So, yeah, it sounds to me like America's getting a pretty fucking good deal. Shipping coke and guns out, shipping weed in.
And the Mexican versus the American front, the refugees that would flow into the country that might have the mindset that this is American land. Have you heard that before? I'm sorry, Mexican land. Have you heard that before? That they're going to reclaim California? They're going to reclaim Texas?
Geez, Glenn, it's funny you'd take such a barely mentioned marginal opinion and bring it to the forefront of television. That wouldn't be to ratchet up support among your hateful, dumbass, redneck supporters now, would it?
That is just the seeds of discontent. If things would shake apart, are we the people that really can fight that? Are we the people that can be peaceful? Are we the Americans that can stand arm in arm and welcome people onto our boat?
But as for reclaiming the lower 5 states, I don't know. I've never heard that. But I do know the lower 5 states were once heavily populated with Mexicans. Of course, until you guys slaughtered them all. I love how you try to fake your caring for the Mexican people here. You know, we want to let some of them on our lifeboat, but, you know, whoa, not too many. You know, they are brown.
Welcome people onto our boat. But not panic or allow panic to spread to sink our lifeboat. There are too many things going on in Mexico that nobody is paying attention to, and we're going to, because I just have this gut feeling that this could be the final lightning bolt in the perfect storm.
That's bad news for our world. The temperature on the surface of our planet will rise over 1,000 degrees. All life on Earth will perish. A wall of hot gas will sweep over the Earth, through our solar system, and into space.
It all could be BS, quite honestly.
I hope you like burritos and tacos, bitch.